Hey there! Get ready for a story that will have you hanging on every word. Today, we are diving into the untold tale of Auntie Aduke from Nigeria, a woman who tricked her entire village into believing she was poor while secretly holding a fortune. Through Auntie Aduke's mysterious ways, we'll discover a lesson that's worth more than gold itself. Trust me, you won't want to miss this one. The Village Mystery. In the quaint and bustling village of Ipetumodu, everyone thought they knew Auntie Aduke. She was the woman everyone could count on, the one who dressed in faded wrappers and worn slippers, buying the cheapest food at the market and living in a house so humble. It was a surprise it hadn't fallen over. She'd laugh with the villagers and say, "I'm just a simple woman trying to get by, my dear children." But for years, Auntie Aduke's behavior puzzled the villagers. How could someone who barely spent any money, never showed interest in flashy things, and lived so modestly still seem so content? Young Kola's discovery. It wasn't until young Kola, a curious teenager with a knack for being in the right place at the right time, made a strange discovery. Late one evening, Kola was heading home when he spotted a shiny black car parked in front of Auntie Aduke's house. This was the kind of car you'd see only in the city, belonging to wealthy people. His eyes widened as he watched a well-dressed man, known for his lavish supermarket in the nearby town, stepping out of the car with a briefcase in hand. He entered Auntie Aduke's house and didn't come out for hours. Kola shared what he'd seen with his friends, and soon the whole village was buzzing with curiosity. Rumors started to spread. Was Auntie Aduke part of some secret society? Was she hiding a rich relative? Every time a villager asked her, she'd simply laugh and say, "Ah, my children, it's just an old friend visiting." The parade of visitors. Over the next few weeks, more and more strangers started appearing at Auntie Aduke's house. They were wealthy, important people, businessmen, even a politician or two. Some villagers claimed to have seen a banker, while others swore that they saw the chief's brother sneaking in late one night. Auntie Aduke's home, once an ordinary little hut, had turned into a revolving door of high-profile guests. "Maybe she's running a secret business," one woman whispered in the market. "Or what if she's into dark magic?" Another man speculated, clutching his kola nuts tightly. But Auntie Aduke continued her modest life, never buying anything more than the bare necessities, and always dressing the same. The confrontation. One afternoon, the village elder, Baba Adewale, decided he couldn't let the mystery go unsolved. He gathered a small group of villagers and marched to Auntie Aduke's house. As he knocked on her door, the villagers gathered outside, whispering and wondering what would happen. "Auntie Aduke," Baba Adewale said in his kind but serious voice, "we've all noticed the unusual visitors to your home. We are concerned. Please tell us the truth." Auntie Aduke smiled warmly and invited them all in. She sat down, cleared her throat, and began, "You're all my family, so it's only fair I tell you my story." The villagers leaned in, hardly able to contain their excitement and shock. What they were about to learn would change everything they thought they knew about Auntie Aduke. Auntie Aduke's secret wealth. A long time ago, she began, "I saved every naira I could, living as simply as possible. I invested all I had in a few pieces of land, some businesses, and with every little profit, I reinvested instead of spending on new clothes or luxuries." The villagers were stunned. Here was Auntie Aduke, a woman they assumed was poor, speaking of investments and savings like she was a business tycoon. Auntie Aduke continued, "I grew my money, not by living like a wealthy person, but by living humbly. My savings and investments grew, but I never let it change me. I didn't want my life to revolve around money, but rather to be a reminder that you don't need to show off wealth to live comfortably and happily. The visitors explained. Those visitors you've seen? Auntie Aduke chuckled. They come to me for advice. They know that I live without letting money rule me. They trust me to guide them in how to manage their businesses, make wise investments, and keep their heads level. The villagers gasped. Auntie Aduke was a hidden financial advisor, and the powerful people who came to her weren't coming to give her money. They were coming to learn from her. She explained how she taught them the value of humility, to live with integrity, and how wealth should be used to serve others, not to display status. You see, she said with a smile, true wealth isn't measured in money. It's measured in wisdom, humility, and kindness, a valuable lesson for the village. As Auntie Aduke finished her story, the villagers realized how much they'd misjudged her. They had assumed that wealth looked a certain way, and yet the wealthiest person among them was the one who seemed to need the least. Amina, a young woman in the crowd, raised her hand and asked, "But Auntie, if you don't spend your wealth on yourself, then what do you do with it?" Auntie Aduke's eyes sparkled. "Ah, my dear, what good is wealth if it isn't shared? I use it to quietly help those in need, those who are struggling. And I invest in this village because I want everyone here to know that true success doesn't have to be loud or flashy. My wealth is my secret, but my actions are visible." How the village changed. The villagers left Auntie Aduke's home with a new understanding. They learned to look beyond appearances, recognizing that value wasn't just in material things, but in humility, kindness, and wisdom. Auntie Aduke's influence spread throughout Ipetumodo, inspiring the young and old alike to prioritize a character over money. From that day forward, Auntie Aduke was respected not just as a mysterious figure, but as a wise counselor and guide. People began to follow her example, choosing to live simply, invest wisely, and care for each other. And the village itself began to prosper as they adopted Auntie Aduke's principles. Ending. So, the next time you find yourself judging someone based on how they look or what they own, remember Auntie Aduke's story. Wealth isn't just about what's in your pocket. It's about the character you build, the love you share, and the wisdom you pass on. Auntie Aduke may never flaunt her riches, but she lives a life richer than most could ever imagine. And there you have it, friends. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales that leave you with something valuable. Thank you for watching, and remember, sometimes the greatest wealth is hidden in the humblest places.